me go over here and play for you some sound of Eric Schmidt. So this is the guy who founded Google, and he's pretty darn excited about what's coming. And I think it's worth listening to him on this, because he's basically making the point that this AI stuff is not overhyped. My recent trip to the Apple store where I tried on the goggles, right, it convinced me this is not overhyped. There's just so many changes coming our way in terms of how we interact, how we communicate, and how work is done, that I think this is worth hearing. Let's play it and talk about it on the other side.
Everything seems to be all screwed up in the West and maybe the world. Everyone's unhappy about this or that, and it doesn't seem like a lot of progress on the important issues is being achieved. That is not, however, true in tech. I am really struck by how fast this next set of changes. I think of it as everything, everywhere, all at once. And the ability and the tools that are being invented here will shape our not only society, but our medicine, the future of history, war, and so forth, in ways that I think are largely unimaginable. And I know it's going to sound crazy, but I would tell you that this change is underhyped, not overhyped. The real question is whether societies globally are ready for it. In my world, which is largely the tech world, there is...
So I think it's pretty compelling and interesting to hear your thoughts on Eric Schmidt there.
Well, I mean, he certainly is a credible voice on this topic and is really close to I would assume extremely close to all of the developments going on. You know, Google is neck deep in all of this AI development itself. And I mean, frankly, it's a little bit spooky to listen to him, right? Because, you know, I mean, on the one hand, you know, we definitely can see the economic opportunities and the productivity benefits, but, you know, for someone so close to the technology to be kind of so convinced that it's such an enormous set of changes coming our way that it will have, you know, first and foremost, social impacts. That's very interesting. So this is coming our way. I mean, everyone from Elon Musk to Google to Meta, you know, Amazon, they're investing in these LLMs, these learned language models. They're buying those NVIDIA chips, and they're competing with one another to develop, you know, more and more AI, you know, general intelligence computing capability. And we've already seen like snippets or like little tidbits of, you know, through Chat GPT of like how amazing it is. Mm-hmm. And what if they're right? What if it's actually going to get 10 times more amazing or 100 times more amazing? Or the models are going to teach themselves how to program better and better models.
Okay, so now I'm getting,
you know,
that's what's like sort of scary about it, right? I mean, it's a little bit, I remember interviewing this like science fiction author. He's a very successful software entrepreneur, and he'd actually been a PhD in artificial intelligence, like back in 1978 at University of Maryland. And he was like, you know, I came out, not everybody was really interested in artificial intelligence back then. So he wound up writing code and was very successful. And he's like, I've written enough code. I'm going to write a book now. My biggest concern is sort of AI taking over the world. What do you, I mean, I guess this is partly what they're trying to think about. There was a big story, I think it was in the Wall Street Journal just last night, talking about how OpenAI is actually rethinking, right, its goals. It used to be for sort of common good. Now it's like, well, you know, we want to make some profits too. You know, it's a balancing act, I guess, because we want this progress and we need this progress.
Yeah, no, it's interesting. I mean, OpenAI becoming, I guess, a for-profit entity. And I don't know, I know personally, like maybe I even feel more comfortable with it as a for-profit entity, that there's potentially
Explain
more
why.
accountability. Well, just, you know, just in terms of there being more accountability, like, you know, like private corporations, you know, there's like, they answer to shareholders, they can be regulated. I get a little nervous when nonprofit entities, you look at universities and how they conduct themselves, or other, you know, foundations, right? They sort of do what they want. They don't really answer to shareholders, so I don't know, maybe we're better off if OpenAI is just a business and society has more control over that. But like, look, China's also in on the act. They're developing their AI models and they're involved in this competition. So the AI models are coming, and that capability is being improved and expanded, and hopefully it translates into a great productivity boom for the world, where basically the computers are doing the hard work for us, in medicine, in law, in business, across the entire service economy, and hopefully they work for us, and we don't work for them.
Yeah, no, seriously. I mean, I saw something the other day, or somebody was talking about how they really would prefer the AI do their household chores as opposed to writing something, right? Because the writing part's kind of fun and creative, and as human beings, we like that. But we'd really rather not have to, make our bed and vacuum the kitchen every day. Like that's perhaps in some ways like the AI might take over some of the fun and creative stuff. But I don't know. I still fundamentally believe that we as human beings have this tremendous power, right, to imagine. And that imagination is everything, which is what fuels all of this to begin with. I mean, look at Elon Musk, right? Imagining that we could have this EV industry. I'm not like really about the EV industry, right? And you look at the industry itself, despite all the money that the Biden administration put its way, courtesy of the Inflation Reduction Act, you get Toyota backing out saying we're just doing hybrids now. You've got Avis Rent-A-Car. I think, no, forgive me, it was Hertz. Even after having, Tom Brady to billboard their plan for all their EVs. Nobody actually wants to rent an EV in an unknown place, because guess what? You may not be able to fill up your tank, so to speak, or charge your vehicle. So again, like I think Elon is amazing, and he imagined something that is coming to be, but simultaneously, like, market forces are at play. It's not like something's just going to take off and go wild, because human beings still have some say in all this.
Yeah. Well, Elon, what he's working towards, a big application of AI is autonomous vehicles, right? Self-driving cars. And that's, a lot of what's driving his investment in this. And that, that could just be, forget about electric vehicles. We're talking about self-driving vehicles.
Mm-hmm. And that could be pretty cool. And actually that could be a game changer. I know it's not perfect, because I don't think any one of us really wants to trust a computer with our lives.
Yeah, not yet.
For obvious reasons. What?
Not yet, but what do you think happens when we get on a plane, right? I mean, it's I think it's sort of inevitable, and to tie all of this back a little bit to markets, when you think about the S&P 500 and just the broad opportunity in the stock market, you do have a lot of these players. They're like directly leading the way in AI, but the companies, the businesses that will really be able to exploit this technology are going to be like the larger, bigger companies across multiple industries that have the, that have the ability to make the necessary investments and, implement these productivity tools. So, when you think about the AI upside opportunity for the stock market, it's both like the tech companies that are going to deliver it, but then, all of the companies that are really going to like make use of it and use it to improve their profitability and deliver better products.
Mm-hmm. So let me go to one of the questions from Peace of Mind. Peace of My Mind is writing, what about AI hackers, AI pirates? Those are real concerns. I mean, but you know what? Like, it's real concern everywhere, right? Maybe that's a play on the cybersecurity sector, if you would. I don't think we have any cybersecurity stocks in our portfolios, but again, like, I think that there's a lot of different ways to think about this, and maybe, Peace of My Mind, that becomes an interesting or compelling investment opportunity, because obviously you're going to need that cyber tech in order to protect against things. We need it today, let's be honest, right? Like, I remember back in the day when they were first asking for your credit card on the phone, and my mom would be like, well, I'm not giving my credit card on the phone. Like, maybe you would fill out a form and put it in the mail. And you think about the ease by which, we do all our online banking, et cetera, today. We are all kind of sitting ducks in that sense.
Yeah. I mean, I know, the cybersecurity software companies, they're heavily invested and involved in, AI technology. So it's a big element of it.
Yeah. I want to go to one of the charts that I've shown. This is for last quarter, and I know that we'll have monthly numbers coming out shortly for September. But I mean, this is the income builder portfolio that we have. And again, I would remind everybody to go over to 76research.com and you can subscribe to those portfolios there. And we have all the stock names and a ton of research on them. These are companies that Rob and I really believe in long term. And so whether you're going for growth with the American Resilience portfolio, whether you're going for getting some kind of dividend income stream for retirement, that the income builder would be an appropriate choice, or whether you're looking for that inflation protection, there's a lot of ideas there. In fact, inflation protection, I mean, we've got an idea in the copper space that's in that portfolio that actually we talked about on the 76 report, 76report.com. Use code word $deal, LLAR, to sign up. No harm, no foul. You can cancel anytime, but you can get some of those names. And I think that this is pretty striking. But look, I mean, it's not easy, dare I say, right? Like, it's not easy to figure out how to invest, where to invest. And, you know, hopefully that's where we can come in and offer some insight that matters. We've got an income builder portfolio. That's great, Doug. I'm so glad to hear that. He's got the income builder portfolio, which has, you know, I was just showing the numbers there. It's been pretty darn impressive since we, just over the last quarter, but certainly since launch as well. So there's some good opportunities in there. And